Do you have a diagnosis or something for like
swan neck
flexibility?
The finger thing. Yeah,
right.
The swan neck deformity where the ligaments are extra long. So this just keeps going, and I used to be able to like bend all my fingers back to my palm. My thumb still goes back to like all the way back.
I can bend my fingers to my palm. Just
the other way. The other, yeah.
That's not your palm.
Oh, that's not my palm. I meant the back of my hand. I guess, like all the way back.
All right,
being an asshole, my bad.
Looks like it hurts.
It really does.
Earlier today and last night, learning and reading about like the sideshow freak acts of like the 1800s and learning about their life. There's this one guy. Here's a picture. Zach, you can show him. Lobster Boy was his name.
Ooh.
He's number 1 on this list of the 20 most iconic sideshow entertainers of all time.
So you may know this character was featured in the American Horror Show episode about freak shows.
Yeah. So this guy has something called ectodactyly, which means his fingers and his toes are like pincers. And this guy was obviously a freak. They would take him around, and his whole family had like this genetic thing, like most of them did. So he was like a 4th generation since the inception of this thing, and he was just, I guess, the first one to take off as a freak.
His whole family had it? Like, I wonder if his mom and dad are also his uncle and aunt.
I don't know. I didn't look that deep
in the show. The Lobster Boy made a part-time living. You know, like a Tupperware party where you'd have a bunch of married gals like over in a living room. He'd do a Tupperware party where he took you in the back bedroom and finger banged you to a ridiculous orgasm because he's like the master of it with his lobster finger, because he's got like a big giant finger like this. That was a good season of American Horror Story. That's one of the two-headed.
Well, that's who this guy's based on. And I was reading about this guy's personal life, and here just a little bit.
And it turns out it's good fingering chicks.
He's really good at it. Yeah, that was a big part of the Wikipedia page. According to Grady's father, the Stiles family had a long history of ectodactyly dating back to 1840. Grady Stiles Jr. was the 4th child of Grady Stiles and wife Edna. Capitalizing on his deformity, he was a sideshow attraction at a carnival. He also couldn't walk. So like he was crippled, and so he would not crippled, but like his feet don't fucking work right. And so he was having to like immobile. Good, yeah. He'd have to like crawl around, and this is what it says about him later in life. That guy we're just looking at. Stiles was an alcoholic and was abusive to his family. Due to his ectrodactyly, he was unable to walk. While he sometimes used a wheelchair, he most commonly used his hands and arms for locomotion. He developed substantial upper body strength that, when combined with his bad temper and alcoholism, made him very dangerous to others. Grady's first wife, Mary Teresa, left him to marry Harry Glenn Newman, a little person who was billed as the smallest man in the world.
Wow. I don't know. If you have that much mobility problems, you better be nice to me. I'm not going to get bullied by some guy. I come back with a stick,
motherfucker. What you going to do now?
You're using a stick and you're walking backwards slowly. His ultimate counter.
A whip.
Come on. What, you going to scuttle over here?
That's funny that this guy was ambling about so much and so often that he developed a strength so notable they put it in his Wikipedia article that made him a real threat, a real world beater. But yeah, that sucks. That poor man, at least as a kid, seems like he didn't become that great of a guy.
Would you want to live as a Lobster Boy?
Compared to some of the other ones on the list, he isn't too bad. At least you still have like hands and stuff. Like you can not real hands, but like he can grab stuff. Those are prehensile.
You're gonna suck at Mortal Kombat.
He wouldn't be good at video games, but he died long before that.
He's getting a lot of hotkeys. I saw a guy playing Tarkov.
This guy died in 1992. That seems so recent.
Ooh, that's like Picasso dying in 75 or whatever. It's like what?
Yeah, that is weird. You always think he's from a long time ago. There was also this woman named Schlitzie, who was, or not woman, looks like a guy. They dressed as a woman who had microcephaly. And man, people were fucking mean.
That's the pinhead thing, right?
That was the pinhead thing. Yeah. And he was like a cultural icon, I guess, of the early 1900s. Everyone's like, oh, that's Schlitzie, the lovable retard who...
Have you ever seen the movie Freaks?
No.
Do you know of it?
I have heard of it, yeah.
It's a black and white film from...
Is that the one that's like, one of us? Like at that little table and they're like dancing around?
Might be, yeah. I've never seen it either. I've seen clips of it. I found it deeply disturbing. It's about freaks. There you go. That's shot from it. Yeah. Now, Zach, it'll be interesting. Now, can you show me the Pinhead from American Horror Story and show how much he looks like the real Pinhead from like, it's crazy.
Well, microcephaly is what they have, and everyone who has that kind of has that same gist.
Yeah. Look. Yeah. I think they got real microcephaly people. Yeah, there you go for the show. I guess not though, because
she doesn't look like she, or maybe I don't think so.
Man, there was two of them in the show. That's the girl, obviously. There's a guy as well. They were like a couple of pinheads. Yeah. There's the other one in the show on the left versus the real one on the right.
Yeah, you can tell the left person has like an actual skull. Like
that was one of the better seasons of that series, American Horror Story. There's a few seasons that are really good. There's one called Roanoke that's got Kathy Bates in it.
Mm-hmm. And, I like Kathy Bates a lot. She's good.
A couple like moves into a too good to be true house in Virginia, wherever Roanoke happened at. It's like the house is haunted, the land is haunted by a different thing, but there's also like a family of cannibals who live like a couple miles away in the woods who want the property. Like everything you can imagine is scary there. Like they're like, we're not dealing with one ghost. We're dealing with hundreds. It's like the Native Americans are after Native American curses. Like it's pretty gory and gruesome that season. There was a couple parts that show's really good at making me feel uncomfortable. Of like such horrific things happening to people that I'm upset about it, like being tortured or disfigured.
There's a movie called The Elephant Man that I haven't seen, but that's apparently very good as like a freak movie. Have you seen that?
The old Elephant Man, like the black and white one,
1980. So
no,
this is the David Lynch film, The Elephant Man, about Merrick, the Elephant Man, who had like those big protuberances all over his skull. I don't
like stuff like that. I don't like disfigured people or freaks. They upset me. There's a Mel Gibson movie called like, can't remember, but half his face is melted off and he's like a recluse that like meets a young boy and like gets to know their mother. And it's like even seeing Mel Gibson's fake half face melted off is like off-putting to me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like disfigured people in real life too. I have a in-law who's got like a birth defect where like he doesn't have lobster hands, but they ain't right.
What's wrong with them? Like missing fingers or
like
extra fingers?
They're all missing fingers on both hands and they're weirdly shaped and like some of them have fingernails and some of them don't. And I just remember as a kid, like mom would be like, yeah, we're going over to so-and-so's place. And I'm like, they're like, you can hang out with so-and-so. And I'm like, Mom, I'm afraid of him. I'm like, I'm scared of his hands. I don't want to touch him. Like, it grosses me out. I'm like, I don't like looking at him. Like his face is all messed up too.
Oh.
It's like his face looks like you like twisted it a little, like something like that. And I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't make me go. I was like, I'm not going to be mean to him. I'm just going to suffer through being around him.
Was he your age?
Not like a year or two older, maybe.
Oh, okay. Close enough.
So it's like don't do this to me. And I didn't go. She was like, yeah, you don't have to go then. I didn't know that. I was like, it's freaking me the fuck out. I was like, I don't want to shake his hand every time I go over there. I'm like probably 12 or 13 at this point, maybe 14. But still, I was like, today. I remember one time I got introduced with a business guy, and nobody told me the motherfucker had a flipper. It's like his millionaire who like runs some gun shit in Florida that I'm meeting, and nobody warned me homeboy has a flipper.
One flipper or two?
I don't remember genuinely. I think just one. I think his right hand was the flipper. You know, it was like
that's the one you'd shake.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, I fucking grabbed his flipper and shook the shit out of it.
Was it just one big piece of meat here? Where they're like
I remember it being like all four fingers like together and then a thumb or something weird. But then these were like all kind of weird. He had a flipper. He had a little. It was bad. but I shook the shit out of his hand. But I was like, why did nobody warn me? We was meeting that flipper-handed man today. I could have steeled myself before the meeting. I was not prepared.
That would take me by surprise.
Yeah, I don't like deformed people. I don't like looking at them or being around.
And you wouldn't have liked these freak shows.
No, I don't like the.
Not only were they gawking, they also, all of them seem to have horrible and tragic lives outside of their career.
How would they not? How would they not?
Even the guy with the stretchy skin.
I don't know.
Like
Sharpay man?
Stretchy.
Yeah, it went poorly for him.
that's James Morris, a genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which causes the skin to be extremely elastic. He could stretch his skin up to 18 inches in length and toured with Barnum & Bailey during his lifetime.
Don't show a picture of that, Zach.
Yeah, he's like, show it.
It doesn't look too bad.
What is this guy, weird stuff, you think?
It looks like his skin is normal.
I bet he could throw his foreskin like over his shoulder.
Oh yeah, he could make a lasso.
Do some weird shit with it. Tighten
it looks like this guy
out.
Unlike all the other freaks, it seems like this guy could just not stretch his skin and then go to the grocery store and be fine.
Right.
Like it was like a feat he was doing.
I was going through your list thinking about which of these deformities I would pick. Stretchy skin over this guy.
Stretchy skin for sure. This is horrific.
You don't be an elephant man?
I don't want to be an elephant man. This guy is like actively hoping his ear got turned horizontal from how much stuff there is going on.
He keeps it close to the ground. He's always
he's got his finger on the pulse. And he's not even like balding. It's just so much extra skull came out that now
I shoot myself with an extra big gun.
You know, some people have big foreheads, and that's fine.
That's true, and I understand that. But this guy, man, that's
zoom in on him. God damn, Zach, what are you doing to me over here? You're traumatizing me with this wolf boy.
This guy, Cousin It. I used to watch him when I was a kid.
Bro, look what Wolfman is wearing. Look, he did not let his Wolfman shit get the best of him. He is styling and profiling. He looks like a fucking matador. He looks like a Wolfman matador, like he's about to go out on the town and slay some pussy with his hairy wolf dick.
I wonder how much of that is growing from his face and how much of that is like imported from the top of his head.
Apparently, it's from his face, dude.
It's from his face. Yeah,
it's going away from his head.
Trichosis, which causes abnormal hair growth all over the body. During his career, the hair on his face was 8 inches long, and the hair everywhere else was 4 inches long on the rest of his body. The only place he didn't have hair were the palms of his hands and the soles of his feet.
Yeah, you can fix that today.
Yeah, shaving.
No, you get electrolysis.
They did that forever.
There's a movie, I can't remember, but the lady has wolf lady syndrome, but she's smoking hot. I can't remember the actress, but they did full body electrolysis to make her smooth.
So does she have to do that all the time, like every month?
Nah, it's semi-permanent. You know, it lasts for like years. They grab each hair individually, send a pulse to kill the root, and then pluck it. So it's pretty permanent. Electrolysis is. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not a wolf boy or an elephant man, and frankly, I'm glad I'm not all that stretchy.
Oh my god, the one of the worst one of these have to be the bottom two that are two different kinds of human torso.
Oh,
Prince Randian, born in 1871, Prince Randian had tetraamelia syndrome, which is the absence of all four limbs. He appeared in 1932's film Freaks, and one of his most famous tricks was rolling and lighting cigarettes with his lips. He performed with Barnum & Bailey, staying in the Sideshow until his death in 1934 at the age of 63.
Suck a mean dick if he can roll a smoke. I can't roll a cigarette with my hands.
Very good. Look at that guy.
Oh my goodness.
That guy's miserable. That sucks.
Please wipe my ass. Please stop and wipe my ass.
Please, sir. You will do the necessary.
He's just constantly nodding toward the wet wipes while I'm talking to him.
Violetta, yet another human.
Perfect woman.
Nah, she needs hands.
She was a singer. Which I guess,
19 years
what else
old,
are you going to
do? Nah, she's a stenographer.
Yeah, these court cases are impossible to go through.
With her nose. Clack, clack, clack.
That's got to be, of all those freak deformities, that those human torsos have to be the worst.
I want to know what's downstairs. Like,
I bet just normal, right?
I bet
was without legs.
I think
it's full of sawdust.
Yeah,
she's been bitch leaving a snail trail everywhere she goes at my house. Jesus, put her on wheels. That you can put her in a little red what is it? Those are wagons.
The Red Rider.
Radio flyer. That's what it is. But you need to put her ass in a radio flyer and get a trained monkey to haul her around. Not comparing him to freaks. Not comparing this gentleman to freaks, but I watched this disabled gentleman on Twitch playing Tarkov with his mouth.
Was he good?
He's killing shit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's good enough for me. Like he was sniping shit. He was in a hard part of the map. He was in Lighthouse at the water treatment plant, sniping out of a window. Just to get there is annoying for me. So like this dude, and he has like 3 or 4 like little sensors in his mouth, and he's over there like playing Tarkov with his mouth and winning. I was very impressed.